am so excited to see all of you guys here in person today. If I have given you a virtual or an in-person tour, raise your hand. This is such a happy day for me because I love to see all of your faces in real time here on our campus. And I can't wait to share with you how we pray, we learn, and we care. Just to let you know, we're going to have some presenters from our Monarch administrators, teachers, and support staff, during which time we are going to have our middle school math placement test. So Mrs. Lawson, our assistant principal dean of students, will be cueing you to let you know when it's time to go. She'll escort all of our middle schoolers who are taking that test over to the building after she speaks. So for now, just sit tight, middle schoolers. If you think your child would prefer to play on the playground during this time, Megan Master Giovanni, our special programs manager, will be escorting them there now. So that's Mrs. Master Giovanni. She's waving in the back. If at some point in time during the presentation they wish to go, you may just escort them over there yourself.
Oh, wow, you're undercover.
Yes, sir.
When it rains.
Thank you.
Take care.
After our presentation,
And
we
your
will
Father,
be serving...
Son, and Holy Spirit.
I think that's Father Chris. After our presentation, we will be serving pizza for lunch outside. If it rains, we'll just ask that you take your pizza to go in the building and remain 6 feet apart as you tour the grounds, shop the used uniforms store, and of course, check out a little gift we have for you at the admissions table in the lobby. Please note that when you are inside the building, you are required to wear your mask. But when you're outside, it's up to you to wear it or not. I'd also like to note that we are renovating our campus, so please bear in mind that it will look even more awesome when you come on your first day of school, okay? If you have any questions after the presentation, we'll just ask that you visit one of our presenters who will be stationed in the narthex afterwards, or even in the little courtyard outside. Of course, Dean Lawson will be in the building, and Mrs. Master Giovanni will be on the playground. But anyone else that you need to approach with questions will be available after the presentation. Okay, I think that's all that I had to say. I'm going to go ahead and welcome our principal, Mr. Mahalio.
Good morning. Wait. Good afternoon. Okay, so here's the challenge for me. We had to move from the gym to here, and so it's hard to contain the excitement for the year ahead, but still be reverent in this space. So I'm going to try to find that fine line today, so bear with me, and Lord forgive me if I get a little carried away. But we're just so excited for this school year. If you're excited for the school year, raise your hands. Come on. Yay! All right. Awesome. Well, we are very excited. This is a special event. I think we have about 100 families attending today, which is awesome. And we probably have a whole bunch more watching our live stream, so we're going to say hello to them as well. And we look forward to seeing everybody here in a couple weeks. So it's a special place here at St. Mary Magdalene. And as Miss Benet just said a few moments ago, and I promise you, you will hear this once, twice, maybe, I don't know, 5,000, 6,000 times before you graduate at the end of your time here, is that at St. Mary Magdalene, we do 3 things. We pray, we learn, and we care. So let's practice together. Can we do that together? Ready? We. Okay, no, wait, this side over here, my ears must be, Dr. Fido, I might need, I don't know, something, okay. So we do what? We pray, and there we go. Okay, so we pray, we learn, and we care. And everything we do here revolves around those 3 things. And if we do those 3 things well, we will certainly be the best versions of ourselves. So today we're going to hear from a lot of different people. We're going to give you a lot of information, but I think it'll show you just exactly how much great stuff that we have going on here at St. Mary Magdalene. Now, it's an unprecedented time, as we know. There's still unknowns about this coming year. On late Friday afternoon, we got some updated guidelines from the Diocese of Raleigh, and so we're sifting through those to see what the year is going to look like, and can probably expect those updated guidelines to be released probably by midweek of this week on what our school year will look like. Now, while I know that that's the question on everybody's mind, today we're going to focus on some different aspects, and just so that we can tell you all the amazing things that we have going on here, because even though this is unprecedented time, our goals are a few this year, and that's one, that we're going to make sure that we provide the safest possible environment for our kids, for our teachers, for our faculty, and for our families. Number two, we're going to make sure that we're able to reconnect with each other. Last year was so weird because we couldn't come together, but this year we're trying to be creative in ways that we connect and reconnect with our families. Thus why we're here this morning. And three, we're going to provide opportunities for everybody to grow in their faith, and through sacraments, through prayer, through outreach, through how we live our lives each and every day. We always say this, that we want to be the best versions of ourselves. We want to help others be the best versions of themselves. And as a school, we'll be the best version of ourselves. So today you're going to hear from some amazing, amazing people. Just remember that we're here to help you on this journey. We're here to walk with you on this journey. There's going to be a lot of information. If you need something, come see one of us. We're here to help, and we want to make this a wonderful, wonderful school year for you. So thank you for being here this morning. And at this time, I'm going to introduce Ms. Lawson, I think, right, to talk about I'm going to do a prayer first. That's right. I'm going to do a prayer. So let's pray. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Good and gracious God, thank you for the blessings of this day. I ask you to be with us as we begin this journey of the 2021-22 school year here at St. Mary Magdalene. Guide all of our leaders in decision-making, and continue to watch over us to keep us safe, and to help us find ways to pray, to learn, and to care for one another. We ask this in your name. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Good afternoon and welcome. So I'm going to talk to you today about how to be the stylish monarchs that you are when you come to school every day. And we're going to talk a little bit about uniform and what you can expect, what to wear and what not to wear, right? Because everyone wants to look good when they come to school. You will have an opportunity today to visit our used uniform closet. And you will be able to see the items and pieces that we have. This is also in our handbook, so if you kind of get lost or there's a lot of information and you need to go back and reference, you can always reference our handbook for what those items are. So ladies, you have a couple of options. Sorry, gentlemen, your options are pretty limited, right? Gentlemen, you have shorts and you have pants and you have 2 colors of polo. There you go. Right? Ladies, you have a couple more options in that you have 2 skirt options, either the plaid skirt or the khaki skirt. You also have a choice with your dresses, either the plaid jumper or the maroon polo dress. So ladies, there's a little more options for you there. Our teeniest monarchs, our mini monarchs, our pre-K 3-years do not have to wear a uniform, but our pre-K 4 students do. For pre-K 4 through kindergarten, a belt is not required, right? So that we can easy on and easy off as we are pottying, but for everyone who is 1st grade and up, that belt is required. All right, so ladies and gentlemen both, as you wear your khaki shorts and your khaki pants, you need to make sure that that shirt is tucked in nicely and that you have that belt on. As far as some of our accessories that we can wear to school, right? We ask that their socks be black, white, or gray. Ladies, you are allowed to wear tights that are white, black, or gray. Gentlemen, we are not going to allow the athletic tights. So please make a note that neither under your regular uniform or your PE uniform will you be allowed to wear your athletic tights. We also have some outerwear, your sweaters, your fleeces. You will find those in the used uniform closet as well. We ask that the shoes be closed-toed. We would not like you to wear boots or high heels. It's a little bit hard to get up and down those stairs to the gym if you're wearing high heels, so save those for another occasion, right? You can wear a closed-toed shoe. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sneaker, but we do ask that it's closed-toed and that it's predominantly one color, right? So use your best judgment there. We want to talk a little bit about what is appropriate length and wear. We do ask that skirts and shorts are 2 inches above the knee. Modest is hottest here at St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School, so we want to make sure that we're keeping that length appropriate, as well as size and fit, right? We want to make sure that nothing is too tight. We don't want any rips or tears in our uniform. We really want to look super spectacular when we're representing our Monarch Nation out and about and during the school day. We do not allow nail polish or makeup of any kind. This includes mascara. Okay, so when you come to school, you want to come in all God's glory and everything that He gave you. There's no need for you to accentuate or highlight with makeup and or nail polish. We also do not allow for any dyed or highlighted hair. Again, all God's glory. You are beautiful. Come to school and show us what you got, right? Okay, we don't allow cologne or perfume, and we do ask that when you come that you make sure that your shirts are tucked in, that you look nice and neat, and that you are ready to seize the day. Okay? Again, if you have questions about this, you're welcome to see me, or you are welcome to check out our school website that will have all of this listed. If you are a 6th, 7th, or 8th grader and you are here to rock your math placement, I will meet you at the back of the church at this time to take you over to the school so that we can begin that assessment. Thank you.
All right. For new parents, there is one word that can be probably most intimidating of anything, and that word is carpool. I don't know if I'm going to do this right. I don't know if So we're going to talk about carpool today for just a moment, and I'm going to tell you a little secret here before we even talk about carpool. The first few days of carpool, as everybody gets used to things, are always a little bit different, okay? It always takes a little longer. It always is a little bit more wonky because people are figuring things out, learning how to use the app and everything like that. So I'm going to warn you that, and I would ask for your patience the first few days with carpool as we get used to everything. I don't know what happens, but about 4 days into carpool, it's like the carpool fairy comes and sprinkles magic dust on the carpool line, and then it just all disappears, and carpool runs very smoothly. So just please, please, please be patient the first few days. Allow everybody to get used to things. If somebody makes a mistake, they're just learning, and just be patient with everyone. If you have questions, there'll be people out there. Just ask us, should I go this way? Should I go this way? And we're happy to help you. And like I said, after about a week, it's like flows very, very smoothly. So who knows? This year we maybe even get there a little sooner. So we have 3 carpool areas that we use. The first is for our preschoolers. So if you have a preschooler, you get to come in front of the school. There's a middle bay that we'll have set up. You get to come right through there. At 2:30, we'll start to dismiss our preschoolers. You come right down the middle, right in front of the school, and you announce, and Miss Sen will be out there, or whomever's out there, and say you're here, and it runs very quickly. So preschool, you get kind of that special treatment there. For our K through 4 families, on this side of the church, we use the church lot. We kind of have what we call an inner loop and an outer loop. And if you've lived in Washington, D.C., I apologize for giving you flashbacks and anything like that, because we run much smoother than Washington, D.C. carpool, I promise you. So out here, the inner loop, you pass the first parking area, and you actually make a loop through the inner loop, and you come out the side and keep right on going. If you have a 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grader, you make the first right-hand turn, and you go all the way around and wrap all the way around behind the columbarium, and then we wait. And at about 2:53, we'll begin to call our middle school families. And I'm going to let you in on a little surprise here. Most of the time, we're waiting for 2:53 to get there with no traffic in front of us once everything gets moving. So you've got about 13 minutes within there. When you pull into the parking lot, we have this wonderful app called Pick My Kid. Mr. Seuss has done a wonderful tutorial for us. It'll be sent out. We'll make some updates to it. And when you get here, you hit, hey, I'm here. I'm going to announce. You go through the carpool line. When you get to the person carrying the iPad, they will say, oh, yep, you're here. And it will notify the classrooms that you're here. By the time you pull to the front of the school, it's magic. Your kids are waiting there for you. So it runs very, very, very smooth, very efficiently, but it does take a couple of days to get used to. So please, please, please be patient with us. The number one thing, I'm going to see if we can play a little game here. What's the number one thing that slows carpool down? Anybody guess? Any guesses? What's the number one thing that slows carpool down? Okay. One, safety. If you're not paying attention, kids may be walking, things like that. Two, it means that you're not paying attention. You say, oh my goodness, I'm in the wrong line, or things like that. So we would ask that once your carpool line starts, please put your phone away and tell them you'll call them back. I will tell you the average time for people once carpool gets started to when it ends, because we actually did this last year, is about 7 minutes. So your phone call, just tell them we'll call you back in 7 minutes, and you'll be fine. So if you have questions, let us know. We'll be here to help you and make it smooth for you. If you have any questions about carpool or the app, Mr. Seuss is your guy. Feel free to reach out to him, and we'll help you with that in any way that you need help. So thank you so much. Ms. Blake, our wonderful lunch program.
Thank you, sir. Hello, I'm Heather Blake, your food service manager, head lunch lady, not a public speaker. So right now I'm like, my heart monitor is going nuts right now. So forgive me if I read for a lot of this. Well, I just want to say welcome to our St. Mary Magdalene family. There's a lot of love here, and some of our cafeteria staff's in the audience right now, and I can let you know that there's a lot of love that goes into our food at St. Mary Magdalene, and we're kind of known for it because it's a little bit above average, we can say. So I want to talk to you about the lunch program and also about our nut policy. Lunch is available every day. That's a full day of school. We don't serve lunch on any early release days. Some of our favorite meals, the students are going to like hearing this: chicken nuggets, hot dogs, and they're Hebrew National hot dogs. And the chicken nuggets are Tyson's Red Label, the best chicken nuggets you can buy. White meat, all white meat. Grilled cheese, quesadillas, taco in a bag. My daughter said, don't forget to say churros, Mom. So with churros on those days. We try to serve these most popular meals at least twice a month. Pizza, we do that with fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. That's every Wednesday because that's our most popular meal of all. We also mix things up with some special meals like breakfast for lunch, Super Bowl subs, and Thanksgiving feast. We have healthy snacks every day, such as made-to-order salads, fresh cut fruit, yogurt tubes, hummus with pretzels. We have orange juice and apple juice and milk. We make homemade desserts daily as well. I mentioned the cookies. We have Texas sheet cake, chocolate cake. We've got Rice Krispie treats for the gluten-free. We've got chocolate pudding cups, dirt cups. Those are very popular. It's very important that you pre-order through RenWeb. There's a couple reasons for this. Number one, if you can pre-order by 1 p.m. the day before, that allows us to get all the food together and make sure we have enough supplies for the next day. And also, we've been delivering to the classrooms until we're directed otherwise, and this allows us to pre-write up all the containers so the next morning things go a lot smoothly. If, however, you forget to order by 1 p.m., you can still do it that evening all the way up until 8 a.m. on the day you need it as an emergency, but we just have to get, rushing to make sure we don't forget any of those orders. So please don't make that the norm, but always email me if you need to get a last-minute meal in there. how to order. There's instructions on our website, and you're also going to get something in your welcome pack. We usually update the menu about a week before the next month. Some people choose to order all their meals a month in advance, or a week in advance. If you need to cancel an order, please do so by 8 a.m. on the day that the meal's to be prepared. That way you don't get charged. Now, we're still waiting to see how we're going to deliver lunches, if the kids are going to come down to the cafeteria, to the dining hall, or if we're going to continue to deliver lunches to the classrooms. So what we did last year was we had all the hot food would get wrapped in foil, put in a container, and then sent right up to the classroom. All the cold food went in a cold bag, that got put in the fridge, and then that went up when it was time. And it worked really well. There's some students I hear from last year. And the hot food was hot and the cold food was cold, so if we have to do that again this year, it works quite well. If the child forgets your lunch at home or in the car, they just tell their teacher that morning what they need, and the teacher will let us know. Okay, salads. I'd mentioned salads before. So you order in BrenWeb for all the meals, including salads. However, we don't just make any old salads. You can make your own custom salad. So there's a special salad bar form that you need to fill out at least once to tell us what you want on your salad and what salad dressing. You don't need to fill it out more than once unless you want to change your order of how to make the salad. Okay, this is important. If you're bringing food from home, we are a nut-safe school. Please check your labels. If it says contains or may contain nuts, don't bring it, so don't send it. So check all your granola bars, everything. We've got some students here with severe nut allergies, so we want to keep them safe. If we're still in the rooms, we won't have access to microwaves for the students. When we come back down to the dining hall, they will. The last thing is refillable water bottle. So we don't sell water bottles through the cafeteria. So if you could bring a refillable water bottle, and there's filling stations throughout the school. Oh, if they forget their water bottle, the teachers have paper cups, so they can always get water with that. So again, welcome, we're glad you're here, and I gotta go get some water. Thank you very much.
Buenas tardes. I am the middle school Spanish teacher here at STMM. My name is Megan Word. I teach grades 6 through 8 Espanol. I'm here to talk about the specials program. I first want to welcome you all, and we have a really wonderful specials department here with a wide variety of teachers with crazy good experience in art and music, drama, media, anything you can think of. They are awesome. So let's go over how specials work here. First of all, there's a class called Atrium. An Atrium is for students in pre-K through 3rd grade. And what that is, it's a Montessori-based religious program that they do. The students attend the catechesis of the Good Shepherd in small groups. It's a Montessori-style approach to the parable of the Good Shepherd, providing a calm and child-centered environment. Also, kindergarten through 3rd grade specials, they take PE, they have music, they have media, they have art, and they have Spanish. And then 4th through 6th grade specials consists of a choice between band or drama, which they get 2 times a week, Spanish they get twice a week, and then they also have PE, art, and media. So that is basically how the specials work. If you have any questions, I'll be here after. If you want to reach out to me and find me, I can answer any of your questions about the specials programs. We've put on so many great shows. The art program is amazing, and you'll see so many unique pieces of art from your child. Music, band, we're excited to have band back. Anyway, so we are really excited. I'm eager to meet your kids. I'm looking forward to a really great school year with you all. And again, just find me if you have any questions about any of the specials classes, and I'll be happy to help you. Thanks, and have a great afternoon.
Hi, my name is Nancy McElroy, and I'm going to speak just for a minute about electives, so 7th and 8th grade. So you have the specials up through 6th grade, and then come 7th and 8th grade, they have the choices for electives. There's a lot of choices this year. They didn't get electives last year, so we're really excited to bring them back and have those opportunities for the students to make those choices during that time. Electives will run this year 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 35 minutes each. Some of the electives are for an entire year, such as yearbook and the media. I think that, well, let me look at the name. I was gonna read some of the names to you. Yearbook is a year, band is a year, and the broadcast team is gonna be for a full year, which is a new elective. And then some of the electives, the majority of them run a semester at a time. So they'll eat the semester break, then they'll switch to the new elective. For those of you that are rising 7th and 8th grade students, the parents, you should have received 1 or 2 emails at this point with the elective choices, and then the link for you to choose which electives your child would want to have. If you have not received that email at that point, then you can either find me afterwards or reach out to Ms. Benet, and we'll make sure that you both have, that you get the emails that you need to make those choices. And just for the parents with younger students, just to let you know what our choices are this year, just what the 7th and 8th graders will have. We have some choices from the Young Chemist, like I said, yearbook's a year. Band is another one for a year. But this year we're also offering the Mandarin Chinese, the Reader's Theater, the Battle of the Books, Chorus, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, the Italian elective, and the Latin dance. So there's a wide variety of choices for our 7th and 8th graders to pick from when they get to that point. And if you have any questions, find one of us afterwards, and we will make sure and answer your questions for you.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan Master Giovanni. I'm the Special Programs Manager here at St. Mary Magdalene Catholic School. I'm really excited about this year because, as many of you know, last year was difficult for most and all the fun was taken away from me. So I wasn't allowed to do my clubs or my before care or my after care. But this year, I'm super excited to bring it all back. Our before care program, because so many of you actually reached out and said that you needed this program, so we were actually going to be able to implement this year, will begin at 7 a.m., which means that you'll be able to drop your child off at the activity building at 7 a.m. in the morning. The school doors to the main building will open at 7:40. Before care is a paid service, so it is $5 per student each time you use it. Our aftercare program runs from dismissal up until 6 p.m. The billing clock for aftercare, however, starts at 3:15. So from 3:15 to 3:59, there's a fee. The next hour, there's a fee, and then an additional fee for the last hour. However, our clubs also start at 3:15. So if you are attending a club, you will not be double paying for aftercare use as well as your club use. We're hoping to bring a lot of clubs back to the school this year. We are still waiting to work out all the logistics and be mindful that we're following all the rules that we need to that are set forth by the diocese. Some of the clubs that we have in the works are Snapology, which is a Lego robotics course, Art Camp, there's a jewelry design, a TGA, which is golf, a youth tennis clinic, and much, much more. Remember that when you are paying for before and after care services, there is a cap per child. So for example, if you have one child, you will never pay more than $320 a month for both before care and after care services combined. There is a letter on our website, as well as if you need a copy of the letter, you can come and see me, and I can provide that for you as well. For pickup for aftercare services, pickup ends at 6 p.m. Pick My Kid app is something that we used at the school last year and we'll be using again this year. We will also be using it for aftercare services. So you'll be able to log on to your accounts, Type that you're here, and an aftercare staff member will be able to bring your child to your car. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, and feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm super excited about this year and to meet all of you new families. Thank you.
My name is Joel Grelly. I'm the athletic director for St. Mary Magdalene. In the fall, we offer sports such as boys soccer, girls volleyball, and boys and girls cross country. In the winter, we have both boys and girls basketball, both varsity and JV, and cheerleading. And in the spring, we have girls soccer, boys baseball, boys lacrosse, girls softball, and we've had a co-ed golf team as well. If you're interested in trying out for a sport, you have to make sure you have a physical form filled out before tryouts. Now, the good news about that is if you try out for a sport in the fall, you won't have to do that again in the winter or spring. It lasts for the whole year. But it is necessary in order to try out. For the fall sports, tryouts will take place starting Monday, August 23rd. If you're interested in trying out for any of those sports, please let me know and I will get your information to the coaches, because the coaches will probably have some more information to send out before tryouts, just to let you know about how the process of tryouts will go and their philosophies on coaching. If you do make it to the team, there is an athletic fee of $125 per child per sport. If you have any questions, I'll be available afterwards. Thank you very much.
Hi, everyone. My name is Molly Przwanski, and I'm the PSO president. My son is a 6th grader, and then I also have a daughter who graduated a couple years ago, and she's a sophomore at Gibbons now. So last year, as you heard, we didn't have a lot of events, but this year we're hoping to be back with everything. So everyone's really excited to get our community aspect back to the school, where we have parents involved and parties and fun things going on. So I just want to explain briefly how the PSO works at our school. Every parent is already a member. You don't have to sign up to be part of the PSO. You don't have to pay a membership fee. You don't have to fill out any form. You're automatically part of it just by being a parent. So we make weekly announcements in the newsletter that is emailed out every Wednesday evening. And you'll see there's a whole PSO section in the newsletter. It's normally to the bottom, kind of middle bottom. We announce there different things that are going on at the school. So for example, there's Spirit Day, which is typically at the last Friday of every month. But we also often call for volunteers. We'll have sign-ups, we'll announce parties, dances, that sort of thing. So you'll want to pay attention to that section of the newsletter. And I'm hoping that you will all find time to at least volunteer for one thing during the school year, because we very much like the philosophy that many hands make light work. So I know that people have different schedules. Some of us have young kids, some of us have older kids, some of us work. So we will try to announce in the newsletter if this is something that's going to be happening on the weekend, if it's something that you can maybe volunteer to do from home, because we know not everybody can come to campus during the school day. Some of you can come to campus during the school day, so we hope you will volunteer to help us do things like that. We have a range of activities, everything that involves our preschoolers up to our 8th graders. There's middle school dances. There's a family festival in the spring where we have a lot of bounce houses out on the field. So we're still waiting to see what we can do next year, but I really hope you'll come and join us. And I just want to kind of plug the last part of the PSO. It's a really good way for you as parents to meet other parents at the school too, whether or not your kids know each other. So I just want to say I have a lot of friends who, my kids don't even know their kids. Their kids are in different grades. They're not, they don't even know each other. But those people have become my friends because I'm able to see them at school. So I just wanted to plug that aspect too, that it's a way for you to meet people as well, and not all about your kids. So I hope you'll come join us. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Bertha Smith, and I'm the Safe Environment Coordinator here at St. Mary Magdalene Church and School. The Diocese of Raleigh implemented the Safe Environment Child and Youth Protection Program over 15, probably going on 20 years ago, and we follow that here at St. Mary Magdalene. And what that means is that all adults who work or volunteer with our youth are screened, and that includes all employees, faculty, staff, tutors, speech therapists, athletic coaches, after-school club coaches, and all volunteers. Volunteering includes everything from volunteering in the classroom or the cafeteria, and also chaperoning field trips and everything in between. So please look for the Safe Environment paragraph in the school newsletter. It will have a link to the Safe Environment webpage. You'll be able to go and see the two different types or levels of volunteer clearance that we have, level B and level C. And just to let you know, most of our volunteers here, probably 95% or more, are level C, and that is the highest level of clearance, which includes a background check. It's also the clearance that is required if you want to go on a field trip as a chaperone. So before volunteering, I encourage you to go out and look at our webpage, and you'll see the upcoming Safe Environment training dates. And also our applications are out there. The applications include everything, all instructions and required paperwork. So all paperwork and verification needs to be on file before you can come in to volunteer. You'll receive an email from me when you are approved, and your name will be added to our list of approved volunteers. If you've submitted your paperwork and you've attended Safe Environment training and you think that you're approved but you haven't heard from me, please feel free to reach out to me and I can give you a status update to let you know an update on your approval. We are looking forward to getting back to normal, having volunteers in the classroom, in the cafeteria, looking forward to going on field trips again. We always need a lot of volunteers for field trips. So I would encourage you to go ahead and become approved now so that when we do need volunteers, we have a good number of volunteers, a good pool that we can choose from. If you think that you already have volunteer clearance through another Diocese of Raleigh church or school, please reach out to me. If you are approved, then we can certainly just add you to our list of approved volunteers. There's no need for you to go through that process again. My email address is in the school newsletter. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks.
Me again. So on September 20th, 1998, any baseball fans in here? Anybody like baseball? Okay, couple. September 20th, 1998, a guy by the name of Ryan Miner played shortstop for the Orioles. And that was significant because the person who had played there for the 2,638 games prior decided to end his streak there. So I can't imagine the pressure that Ryan Miner felt pinch hitting for Cal Ripken on that game. We are blessed here that we have a registered nurse, Mrs. Wendy Walsh, who is absolutely amazing. She was such a big part of keeping our school safe last year, and she's unable to be here today, so I am the Ryan Miner of our medical program today. So bear with me as we go over everything here with our medical stuff for Wendy. So first and foremost, as Ms. Blake said, we are a peanut, tree nut free school. We want to keep all of our kids safe. Please, 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 please do not send in foods that contain nuts or may contain nuts. As a parent of children with food allergies, I can tell you how stressful that is. And what ease of mind it is to know that those protections are in place. We have a lot of kids here with food allergies, and so please, please, please want to keep them safe. If you do send something in with nuts in it, the teachers kind of check the kids' lunches, and you'll get it back with a little note that will remind you, hey, we're a peanut, tree nut free school. So please, please, please check the labels. Doesn't take long. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us and let us know. The other thing we would ask that you talk with your kids about, please, please, please don't share food because what Joey has might not be allergic to eggs, but Billy is, and if they share foods, we don't want that. So please, please, please talk to the kids about not sharing foods. I know it's tempting when Billy's got 2 cupcakes and you really want one, but please just avoid that. Any medications must be brought to the school by parents in the original packaging with pharmacy labels intact. So if you just bring us something in like a baggie, we can't accept that. It's got to be intact, and bring those to the school. Forms can be found on the website for things such as the allergy action plan. For those of you that's children may need an EpiPen or have a food allergy, please make sure that we have those on file. Asthma action plan for students who have asthma, and health assessment forms. All the immunization forms and health forms should also be submitted to Mrs. Walsh if you have not done so yet. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to her. And as we talked about, and you've heard this once, twice, 600, 700 times, COVID plans, we are working through those right now. We just received those guidances very, very late on Friday to see what that looks like. The one thing that we would ask is this: please, please, please pay attention to symptoms, and if you don't feel well, please stay home. We will miss seeing your smiling face, but we'd rather you feel better than come in and bring a gift that keeps giving to everyone. So please, if you're not feeling well, whether it just be a cold or anything else, please, please, please stay home that day and get rested up. Mrs. Walsh asked me to pass out her email and her phone number, and it's in our newsletter as well, but it's a tough one. Walsh, WALSH, @stmm.net. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to her, and her extension is 7246. All right? I hope I did okay doing her justice. And so the other thing Mr. Seuss wanted me to remind everybody is about carpool. If you have more than one child at different grade levels, come with the oldest. So thank you. Mr. Seuss.
Hello, my name is Patrick Seuss. I am the Education Technology Specialist here at St. Mary Magdalene. Today I'm going to be touching upon some of the technology that we use here at school. First, the devices the kids will be using. St. Mary Magdalene, starting last year, became a one-to-one school, meaning that every child at school had access to a device at all times. This year, we're happy to say that we are no longer going to need to have a bring-your-own-device program. All devices will be distributed from the school and managed by St. Mary Magdalene. Using the Chromebooks, the kids are going to be accessing most of their stuff through Google Classroom. Now, something we're going to roll out this year is that we're going to set it up that all parents have the option to receive either daily or weekly alerts on their child's Google Classroom status. This will tell you if your child has a big assignment coming up, if they're missing something, or it'll tell you the grades as they come in through Google Classroom. Along that, while the kids are on the internet, we use a system called GoGuardian. This is something else that you guys will get information on how to sign up for, but on our end, it tells us when the kids are where they're not supposed to be on the internet. What you guys will get is a weekly report of where your child may be on the internet. These are all things that are opt-in, so it's something that if you would want or you're having trouble with, please reach out to me. And lastly, a lot of people keep calling it RenWeb, but we use Fax SIS. They get really mad when I email them calling them RenWeb. But this is our information center. This is where we're going to keep grades, attendance. This is where teachers are going to use to communicate through to you with emails. This is also where you put in your lunch order. It's very important. Now, if you guys have any questions on any of the technology that we use here at St. Mary Magdalene, please feel free to reach me by email, and you can find my email probably in the newsletter, but at all times it's on our school website. All right, my name is Patrick Seuss. I hope you guys are excited as I am for this year. Now, Caitlin.
Hello, everyone. I am Caitlin Clendenin, and I am newly moving over to the church side. I've been a teacher and kind of involved with this school for the past 3 years, and I am now co-director of youth ministry here at St. Mary Magdalene Parish. So huge thanks to Father Chris, who set me up beautifully to share with you about the ministries at the church for your children, because he talked about that relationship, kind of that flowing back and forth of the grace we receive in our faith in the Eucharist, and what that brings to your school community. So I wanted to tell you about two ministries in particular. One is The Rock, and that's for for grades 5 and 6. And then The Edge, which is for 7th and 8th graders. So if you are a family with students in those grades, I want to tell you a little bit about those ministries. Now, you may be thinking, my child is going to an amazing Catholic school where they're going to get a wonderful Catholic education. And as a teacher here the past 3 years, I can absolutely tell you that is true. Our curriculum here is solid, and they will leave knowing their faith very well. So what does coming to parish-based ministry bring to that? It's a complementarity, because obviously your children will eventually graduate from Catholic school, but you want them to have that investment in their church community. You want them to be part of a family of faith. And so we want to just invite your kids to be part. So let me tell you a little bit about The Rock. The Rock for 5th and 6th grade will meet on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month for about an hour and 15 minutes. That's from 6:30 to 7:45 on those weeks. We actually have teaching available for parents. It is optional if you're a parent of a 5th and 6th grader, but you're most welcome to come for your own faith formation. This program is dynamic, fun, Catholic. It helps the kids kind of face hot topics and be part of service projects and be part of the community of the church. The Edge is for 7th and 8th graders, and we meet weekly on Sundays, beginning with Mass at 6 p.m. and going till 8:30. They'll have the opportunities for large group teachings, small groups, retreats. We've got some awesome retreats that we're planning for the fall already. And so if you have a 7th or 8th grader, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to bring them to the Edge, again, to complement what they're getting at school. Thank you so much for letting me share, and I hope that I get to be a familiar face to you and your families, and I'll see you over at the school as much as possible as well. God bless you guys.
I'm short. All right, so at this point, we're going to talk about preschool. So if you do not have a preschooler and you are not interested in what happens in preschool, you get to go have pizza now. If you do have a preschooler and you want to stay, or you're interested in what's going on with preschool specifically, then this is the place you want to remain. So everybody who wants pizza, go. I promise the preschoolers will get pizza again after. Pardon? Well, yeah, I'm just gonna let them slide out before I start going cross traffic. So everybody who is staying, feel free to reposition if you want to move to a different seat. It's like when you've gone to the ballpark and there's nobody sitting down front. So once they get out and the noise kind of settles, then we'll deal with our preschool specific things. All right, so my name is Barbara Sen. I am the Early Childhood Coordinator here at St. Mary Magdalene, so that's preschool. We do pre-K 3 and pre-K 4, and most of the policies that we are going to follow are going to be the same policies as for kindergarten through 8th grade. So those things that are in the handbook are going to apply to everybody, specifically with regard to how the basics of carpool works and arrival and departure and those types of things. As Mrs. Lawson mentioned earlier, our pre-K 3 students do not need a uniform because we have really hard time finding them in the smallest of sizes. And then pre-K 4 does wear the school uniform, but the PE uniform is optional. Now, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. The things that are different for preschool, one is going to be footwear. They do have to have closed-toed, closed-heeled shoes, no heels. With COVID protocols last year, we had previously encouraged no lights, no blinky shoes, and those types of things. But with COVID, because it was more important for us that children be independent with their shoes, which meant more Velcro, that also means that it's harder to find shoes that don't blink. So we're gonna ease on the blink. They're allowed to blink. They cannot play the Star Wars theme song or any other, no Let It Go, nothing else. And they can't have wheels. We did have that once where they brought their wheelie shoes in. So we would like them to be as independent as possible with their shoes. If they wear tie shoes, that's fine. We will help them tie them when they become untied. We're just trying to limit those opportunities where we're kneeling in front of a child for them to cough on our head, just in case. Preschoolers don't need to wear the belt, and the PE uniform for preschoolers is optional. They will go to PE. We ask that they wear their sneakers on those days if they're not wearing them every day. But they do not need a PE uniform for the activities that they're going to be doing. They'll be fine in their regular uniform. So some children choose to get one, or some parents choose to get one for their children, and some do not. Usually our students with older siblings are the ones that are all about getting the PE uniform. Most of the things that we're going to talk about, you're going to get a separate email from me, so that you'll be able to refer back to this. So we've talked about the uniform. We're going to talk about the big one, which is bathrooming. All the preschool students and all the K-8 students are required to be potty trained. It's typically more of an issue in preschool. The policy with regard to that is available online, and it will be in the email that I send you. But basically, your children need to be able to let us know when they need to use the restroom. They need to be functionally independent in the restroom with regard to, managing their clothing, taking care of getting themselves cleaned up. We will help your children if they get in there and have a situation and they need help. Please know that we will help your children. But we are working toward them being independent, because once they go to kindergarten, that's the expectation. So we want to start building that in for them. If for some reason your child is having bathroom accidents, we will also work with you. We will sit down together. We will work out a plan for how we're going to encourage success in that area if they're struggling. Please understand that we know that as they enter a new environment, preschoolers are likely to have setbacks in that area. It's a new place, the bathroom's in a new place, the rules are different, what they need to do are different, the grown-ups are different, they're not always sure of what they should do, and we do understand that even children who have been well potty trained for a period of time may have an occasional accident as they're getting settled into a new environment. It happens when you move to a new house, it happens when you have a new baby, it happens when you start a new school too. So understand that we will work with you as they become successful in that area. If you know that your child is not going to be potty trained when school starts, please reach out to me, because we do have some procedures in place for ways for you to keep your spot reserved while you continue to work on that if that's something they're still struggling with. Arrival and departure is going to run basically like it does for K-8. We will use Pick My Kid app. The big differences for us are, as Mr. Malhalio said, for the afternoon dismissal, you'll come down that middle bay of the parking lot and then right into the carpool lane in front of the school, and we will make sure that your children get there. We do not know the answer yet about how drop-off goes. We just got that guidance on Friday. Last year, we had preschool staff out there to meet the children and take them to their rooms. And I can tell you it worked beautifully. The first couple of days, some of them were a little iffy about, getting out of the car and going with a person they really hadn't met. But once we got through the first couple of days of that, it was fine. If your child is struggling with that getting out of the car portion of the program, they can't undo their 5-point harness, you'll be able to pull to the side up in that first bay of the parking lot and park and get them unbuckled, get them out of the car, and get them to a person who's able to walk them in. And that all presupposes that we have to do it the way we did last year. I don't know for sure yet what that answer is going to be. But I will say it was very successful the way we did it, and the children handled it beautifully. And it's the reverse procedure for the afternoon. You check in on the app and we load your kids in, and then if you need to help them buckle the 5-point harness, you're gonna pull into that first bay, park, get out and help them get all secured if they're not able to do that independently, and a lot of them we know are not. But you can't get out of the car in the carpool line to take care of that, so you'll pull up and park for that. For our morning preschool students, they dismiss at 11:15, and it will be the same procedure, coming down that bay, coming into the main carpool lot. And for our students right now who are registered for Lunch Bunch, which dismisses at 12:15, it'll be the same procedure again at that point for those students. So whether you're 11:15, 12:15, or 2:30 dismissal, the process is going to be the same. Next on my list, we gotta talk about if there is a 2-hour delay for programming. If it's weather related, we need to have a 2-hour delay with regard to starting, then there won't be morning only preschool classes because they would only be here for an hour. So morning preschool for pre-K 3 and pre-K 4 is canceled on days that we have a 2-hour delay. If we have a 1-hour delay, we will still have those classes. But for a 2-hour delay, they will be suspended for that day. The arrival time then for 2-hour delay for our full day students is 10 o'clock is when class will start, since class typically starts at 8. With regard to early dismissal days, whether they're planned early dismissals, the release time for all preschool students at that point is 11:15. You'll see in the newsletter, it'll say dismissal is at 11:30. That'll be K-8. Preschool will dismiss 15 minutes ahead of that so that our carpool line can be done before the K-4 carpool line starts. Beyond that, we've talked already about lunch. Specific to preschool, the lunch rules don't change. What does change is snack. So if your child is enrolled in the half-day program, either morning or afternoon, you need to send in one healthy snack and make sure they have a water bottle. If your child is full day, we ask that you send 2 snacks, a morning snack and an afternoon snack, in addition to their lunch if they're not buying lunch. If you are signed up for Lunch Bunch, you're sending lunch and the one morning snack. Water bottles need to be water bottles. They need to be able to open and close them. Ones that have the flip spout are great because they can close them and then you don't have to worry about air germs getting all over them. You can use the regular store-bought water bottles, where they twist off the cap. Those are fine as well, as long as your child can manage to drink out of them. But we cannot use sippy cups. That's, with the health regs the way they are, that's not something we can do. So it has to either have a spout that folds down and is closed up, or it needs to be just a regular one where they take a lid off and drink it down. And they're usually pretty good about that. We will help them open and close things. That's not an issue for them. I would practice, but we don't expect them to be 100% on that. And again, reiterating, we are peanut, tree nut free. If we go through your child's things and something has inadvertently made it into the box that contains or may contain peanuts or tree nuts, we will put a note on it for you and we will give them an alternate snack. We keep in the classroom, we try to keep a handy supply of things like pretzels and goldfish and other things that are usually kid-friendly, so that if something happens, either they've brought in something that's not going to pass the nut policy, or they've opened it up and all of their snack has fallen on the floor. We're able then to just give them an alternate snack. If you have restrictions on what snacks your child could have alternately, reach out to the classroom teacher and we'll make sure that the things that they're given are things that you're okay with. The other things that are different right now, specials. They talked about specials and they mentioned Catechesis of the Good Shepherd, which is a core curriculum area for us. But the pre-K 4 students will go to media center, will go to PE, will go to art class, will go to music class. The students who are here 5 days a week will go to all of those activities. The students who are here on a hybrid schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever might be, will go to the specials that are happening on the day that they're there. So if your child is a Tuesday, Thursday student with enrollment, they won't be attending whatever special is happening on Monday. They'll be attending strictly the ones that are happening on Tuesday and Thursday. We do try to make sure we have a mix of things throughout the week, and we try to make sure that as many children as possible are attending as many specials as possible, but there's no way we can take all 5 of those specials and fit them into 3 days or 2 days. The diocese has rolled out this year a new curriculum for preschool. They've just posted it on their website last week. So that will be included in the information that I'm handing out. It's basically what their new standards are. They don't vary a lot from what they were previously doing. You'll get copies of that. We will review that. And you'll receive information about how your child is progressing twice a year, typically in the fall, around end of October, and again in the spring, in March. We will sit down and make sure you have that information. But you're always welcome to reach out to the classroom teachers about any questions or concerns that you have with regard to that. Mr. Seuss mentioned Google Classroom, and you probably went, preschoolers don't need Google Classroom. You do. So you'll be getting that information about your child's account. You will also be able to log into those accounts. That's where you're going to find your lesson plans. So if your child needs to be absent for a period of time for any reason, you will still have access to the materials that are happening in the classroom. We've already got videos that go with this is how you do the craft and those types of things, so you still have access to those items. If you have any questions or any difficulty getting into Google Classroom, reach out to Mr. Seuss. He's the magician with regard to technology. Other preschool specific things are going to involve the rest mats for full day students. I will be sending out the basics of what we require to make it very short and sweet. We do require a vinyl mat, and it needs to be a tri-fold mat that will fit into their cubbies. The page that I will share out with you will also have the details on the size specifications of what will fit into the cubbies, so that you will know that. In addition to Catechesis of the Good Shepherd, back to curriculum for just a minute, the preschool children also participate in a religion program that we buy from our Sunday visitor. It's called I'm Special. It is creation-based, so virtually every week is a thank you, God, for my friends, my family, flowers, air. Pick something that God made, and we're going to have a unit about it. So those are the basics on that. Normally, I would do a parent orientation evening where we open for questions, and I know that you may have questions for some of the other people, but if you have preschool-specific questions right now, is a good time to raise your hand, and we'll get your questions answered, because if you have the question, odds are somebody else does too. Do we have any big deal questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes. It is. So the mat that we're requiring is the same one that is tagged on the supply list. All right, any other questions? Yes. Oh, can you come a little closer? Last year, if you had K4 students, you were able to pick them up at the same time you picked up preschool. And if you had grades 5 through 8 students, you needed to pull up and wait for them to be dismissed after you got your preschooler. This year, since we just got the guidelines Friday, we're looking at what that's going to mean with regard to how we handle carpools. So that information will be coming out shortly. Anybody else? All right, I will be around and available if you think of a question that you have. I thank you for, yes? Yes, all the information about carpool will come out either from Mr. Mahalio or Mr. Seuss with regard to which ways you need to be and what Bay 2 actually is down that middle of the parking lot. Yes? You will, and you will get name tags that you can, put on your visor. When you're using the app, you can check in, and basically if you hold the app up to the window, that works too, as far as getting people to realize, oh yeah, that's who you are, and then we get your children to the car for you. Anything else right now? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so the logo that's not going to be allowed for sure is the oldest one with the crown. What I've been asked to convey is that they prefer the new logo on all of the clothing. Know that if you have emergency clothes in case your child has a bathrooming accident or dumps all of their water in their lap, we're not going to be sticklers about what goes on at that point. If you have an older uniform that you want to use as their extra clothes, that's going to be perfectly fine. There are two right now that are okay. The one that just says STMM, St. Mary Magdalene, across the front. The one that you have to just totally stay away from is any that still have the crown on them. Okay? All right, are you guys ready for pizza? Yes? Time for lunch? All right, thank you again for your time today, and thank you for staying to get your questions answered. Have a great day.